What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fishing OD. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the new 2022 Shimano Bantam. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fishing OD. I hope you're all well. As I said, in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the new 2022 Shimano Bantam. It is for some reason no longer called a Bantam MGL. I guess that's not to confuse it with the old one, but now this is just called the Bantam, even though it still comes with the Magnum Light spool. But now that we got that out of the way, we're gonna open this reel because I haven't actually opened it yet, and I'm really excited to see what it looks like. And in this video, we're gonna be talking about the specs. I'm gonna give you my first impressions on the product and overall my opinion on this product. Obviously, I can't give you any feedback as far as testing, but this is more just to educate you to see if this is something that might be able to fit your arsenal as well as your type of fishing. And without further ado, let's crack this puppy open. I'm just gonna pop it open with my trusty knife. And let's open this up. Pop that open. I'm not very good with knives. Let's pull out the box. Boom, there's the box. Super clean design. Not that the box matters at all. Shimano always includes this nice oil, grease, whatever you want to call it. Pretty sure it's just oil. Lubricant, as we'll call it, which is always sweet. I'm gonna get the box out of the way. This box is actually gonna go behind me at the end of the video. Here is the Bantam. You guys have already seen it in the intro, but I'm just seeing it for the first time in person, and it is gorgeous. Looks don't really matter too much as far as the product goes, but it is really pretty. Very similar in look to the old Bantam, just quite a bit darker. And when I say the old Bantam, I'm referring to the Bantam MGL, not the original Bantams that Shimano first created when they first got into bait casting reels and whatever. But it is very reminiscent of the previous model of Bantam, and it does bear a lot of similarities, but there are some key differences that I genuinely think that make this reel stand apart from its predecessor, the Bantam MGL, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Right now I'm just kind of admiring it. It's so pretty. I can't wait to use this out on the water. I've always wanted a Bantam. I've never actually owned a Bantam. I've had them in my hands. I believe I've used them like other people's Bantams out on the water, but I've never owned one for myself. It's just been a dream reel of mine, and I'm excited to have one in my possession. Can't wait to put it on one of the new X Prides, which I will be doing a video on in the future. But enough chit chat, let's head into the specifics and pretty much the reason you guys are here. But before we get started, guys, if you are a fan of gear review videos and fishing videos all around, and if you guys enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. Over 75% of you guys that watch my videos aren't actually subscribed, and it would really help me out, and it never goes unappreciated. Anyways, let's talk about this reel, this machine. This reel is absolutely crazy. We're gonna talk about all the product technologies that are included in this reel, and then I'm gonna go into detail on the ones that I find important. This might be subjective, but it is what I find important and what we're gonna break down in this video. Despite having many other different technologies, we're only gonna break down the key ones, as well as the ones that set it apart from the previous generation of Bantam. So these are the product technologies that Shimano lists on their website. It comes included with core solid body, cross carbon drag, Shimano's Hagane body, infinity drive. This is one of the newer technologies that they have included in this reel, which is the MGL Spool 3, which is basically just the third generation of spool in the MGL lineup. It has micro module gearing, the S3D spool, Shimano's SVS Infinity braking system. This reel also comes with shielded anti-rust bearings, the SARB bearings. It also comes with silent tune and super free spool. These are a bunch of technologies where if you guys are Shimano fanboys, you probably already know all about them. But in this video, we're only gonna be breaking down a select few of them, starting with the core solid body. The core solid body is something that sets this reel apart from almost every other reel, even in the Shimano lineup, as well as pretty much every other reel on the market at this current point in time. Core solid body is pretty much, as the name states, a one-piece body on this reel. And what I mean by that is that there's no screws holding the reel together. There's no seams, no nothing. If you remove the side plate, this is a one-piece reel. It is actually really impressive when you look up close to it, because if you look at any other reel, you see tons of screws, you see tons of different things. this reel is solid. And when I say it's solid, it feels like you're holding a block of metal, and that's not to say it's heavy. And one of the big benefits of the Core Solid body is the sensitivity that it gives you. Due to having less parts, less connections, less room for vibrations to be broken up, this reel is super sensitive and it really transmits bites very well. And I'm not speaking from experience, of course, because I've actually never owned a reel with Core Solid body, but almost everybody I know that owns a Bantam or even the new Metanium MGL from last year has told me that the Core Solid body is one of their favorite technologies and they can't picture using reels without it anymore because of how nice it is to have. And it also just makes for a very solid reel. It feels very good in the hands, and I can't wait to use it myself personally. Of course, this is a technology that was also found in the previous generation of Bantam, the Bantam MGL. So this hasn't changed, but the next technology we're going to talk about is a little bit of a step up from the previous generation of Bantam, which is going to be the MGL Spool 3. So the previous generation of Bantam, the Bantam MGL, came with Shimano's first generation MGL spool. It had its benefits, but the new spool brings some improvements to an already really beneficial piece of your reel, which is the spool. By providing a lighter spool, you're getting a lower startup inertia. Shimano claims that it is reduced by 15% compared to the previous generations of MGL spool, which I think is really good. And if you guys have never used a product with an MGL spool or another company's equivalent, the lighter spool allows for better casting, longer casting, and like I said, the lower startup inertia prevents backlashes. It just makes actually a world of a difference. I don't think I own one reel that doesn't have an MGL spool anymore, despite what you see behind me. Most of my reels now come with an MGL spool, and I found I get better distance, I can cast lighter baits, I can cast heavier baits, more controlled. So there's a ton of benefits that come with it, but all that to say that this is the new generation of MGL spool, and there's not much more to know about it. The next change that they made to the 2022 Bantam is actually going to be in regards to the driving capabilities of this reel. So if you guys have been fans of Shimano for a while, you guys all know about X-Ship. X-Ship is just a supported pinion gear. It's got an extra bearing, one on each side, which helps minimize torque and all around gives you better driving power. But Shimano basically has an upgraded version of X-Ship known as Infinity Drive, which is also included in this reel. And it's just an updated version of a main shaft supporting system that, like I said, prevents torque in the reel and all in all gives you better driving power. It is super smooth from what I can tell. Obviously, I haven't hooked a fish on it as of yet, but it is super smooth. There's very minimal play in the reel altogether. It's just going to be a powerhouse. And you pair that up with the next technology, which is micro module gearing. And if you guys don't know what micro module gearing is, I'll show you a little picture probably right there. Micro module gearing is just a gear that has an increased number of teeth. And what this does for a reel, to those of you that don't know, is more teeth means more contact. And it also means that per turn, you're just getting a lot more power out of this gearing system. Imagine turning a gear that only had like 5 teeth. That would take a lot of force. I've used Shimano reels that didn't have micro module gearing, and then I've gone to a reel in my boat that has micro module gearing in the same day, and I noticed a difference right away, especially when I'm cranking in like something like a crank, an A-rig, or even bringing in a fish out of like matted grass, let's say. You could really tell the difference between micro module gearing and regular gearing. It's not to say regular gearing is bad. It's just micro module gearing is butter smooth. You get so much cranking power out of it, and you don't even feel like you're forcing very hard on the actual paddles of the reel. And as far as the differences between the new 2022 Bantam and the previous generation, the Bantam MGL, there's not much else that has changed except aesthetics. So let's go into some of the actual specs of the reel now. We're no longer going to be talking about technologies per se. So as most Shimano reels come, this reel is offered in 3 different gear ratios. It's offered in the 6.2:1 gear ratio, 7:1:1, and the 8:1:1, obviously being just the regular 150, the 150 HG, and the 150 XG. Same thing for you lefties, the 151, the 151 HG, and the 151 XG. So the 6.2:1 actually brings in 27 inches of line per handle turn. The 7:1:1 brings in 31 inches, and the 8:1:1 brings in 35 inches. So within this lineup, as there is with many other Shimano reels, there's going to be a reel for many different types of applications, whether you're cranking, whether you're flipping, many different things. So depending what you guys plan to do with it, you'll be able to find a reel that best suits your needs. As far as the weight of the reel goes, it actually varies between the different gear ratios, which I guess just has to do it maybe more parts, more teeth, whatever it is. The regular 150 is just 7.6 ounces, and then it climbs up to 7.8 and then 7.9 ounces. But like I said, the difference is negligible. You'll never feel it, so it doesn't really matter. But as you guys can see by the weight, it is a bit on the heavier side as far as the reel goes. As far as the actual construction of the reel goes, like I said with the MGL spool, you could use this for pretty light baits. You could use it for light cranks, light flipping, any technique you guys really want to. But as far as my personal applications, I'm counting on this reel being my powerhouse reel. This is gonna be my frogging reel. And like I said, with that MGL spool, you're gonna get good casting out of it. It's gonna be my pitching reel for when I'm pitching jigs under a dock or something, or even punching in mats. This is gonna be the reel that does that for me this summer. I'm gonna be putting it on one of my rods, which I'll take out in a sec. And currently in my hand, I have the XG version. Cause like I said, this is gonna be my flipping reel, or should I say pitching, because I don't actually flip, but it's gonna be my pitching and frogging reel mainly. You can do all kinds of techniques with this reel. You can do big swim baits, cranks, literally whatever you guys want, just not super finessey stuff. For that, you guys have the Corrado BFS if you want to go super finesse, like Ned rigs, drop shot, all that stuff, or even small cranks and poppers. Like I said, for me, this reel is going to be my powerhouse reel. So this reel can hold 135 yards of 30-pound Power Pro braid. I'm probably going to have 40 or 50-pound braid on this for frogging. For punching, usually I'll go a bit heavier. I'll go up to 50, 65 pound braid. To keep this reel more versatile, I'm going to be having it within the 40 to 50 pound range. So according to the website, I'll be getting 105 yards if I decide to go with a 40 pound Power Pro braid. So another thing you guys might be curious about is the drag power. It comes with 11 pounds of drag, which honestly isn't too bad. I've heard a lot of people complain about Shimano's drag power. You know, they're always comparing it to other companies. Oh, this company's got 20 pounds. For those of you that don't know, I actually work at a fishing store, and I've had people come in and tell me that, oh, 11 pounds of drag isn't enough. But then I'm thinking to myself, like, I've used Shimano reels for the last 3 years of my life, most of them having 11 pounds of drag. When I tighten it down to punch a mat or flip a dock or something, and I crack the hook on a fish with straight braid, I almost never, if ever, have had my drag slip on me. Maybe you guys are actually catching big fish or something, because clearly I'm not, but I've never actually made my drag slip on one of these reels with 11 pound drag. And the drag system is Shimano's cross carbon drag, which is an excellent drag system, but I definitely think 11 pounds of drag is more than enough for most applications out there and most fisheries. And I have no doubt that this reel is gonna do the job to get the fish I need landed in my boat. So now the question on everybody's mind: what is this reel going to cost me when I click off this video and I go to try to find it online to order it? Well, I'm in Canada, so this reel comes in at a whopping $489.99 Canadian. And honestly, I think that's a very fair price for this reel. It is by far one of Shimano's best bait casting reels that they currently offer in North America. You got the Metanium MGL above it, and obviously you have the Antares. But the Bantam and the Metanium do bear some similarities. Obviously the Metanium is a bit lighter, so you have that added benefit of less fatigue out on the water. But I actually really enjoy the weight of this reel, because like I said, to me, when I think Bantam, I think powerhouse. You don't have to use it as a powerhouse reel, but when I think Bantam, that's what I think about. Like I said, I can't wait to put this reel on a rod, take out the ass tracker, and go pitch for some largies with it, or even frog with it. I'm gonna find some good uses for it. And this summer, I will be doing a review video on the reel after I've used it enough. That might be quite a little while away, as we still have a ton of ice here in Quebec, but hopefully it comes sooner rather than later, because I can't wait to get out on the water. So that's gonna be pretty much it for this video, guys. If you had any questions, drop it down in the comments below. If you feel I left something unanswered, or you just have a question regarding the Bantam, or anything that I might have left out, drop that in the comment down below. And if you guys enjoyed this first impression / unboxing video, go ahead and drop a like. And like I said at the beginning of the video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As of right now, that's the only way you guys can support me, is by subscribing. And I wish you guys all the best in this 2022 season. I can't wait to get out on the open water. And I hope if some of you guys are from other parts of the world, that you're catching them good right now. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you guys my little setup. That's the Bantam on last year's Zodias. What a great rod, what a great reel. I just had to show that to you guys. I can't wait to use it. Oh.
Almost broke it.
All right, well, peace.